Imagine this. What if everything you thought you knew about the Irish people, their heritage, their origins, even their very identity, was all wrong? What if the truth about the Irish goes far deeper than the ancient Celts and red-haired stereotypes? What if the Irish story has been completely rewritten by shocking new discoveries that will make you question everything? Well, stick around, because in today's video, we're going to unravel these mind-blowing revelations that are shaking up Irish studies. From ancient DNA to unexpected genetic influences, the Irish identity might be far more complex and surprising than anyone ever thought. Trust me, you won't want to miss what we're about to uncover. So, who exactly are the Irish people? Sounds like an easy question, right? But let's dig a little deeper. At first glance, you might just think they're the folks from Ireland. But that's just the surface of a much richer and more layered story. The Irish aren't just residents of an island. They're the keepers of a unique and vibrant culture that's been evolving for thousands of years. Ireland's rich history and culture have shaped its people into what they are today. While many people associate the Irish with their homeland, the truth is that Irish heritage extends far beyond the borders of Ireland. There are millions of people with Irish roots worldwide, especially in places like the United States, Canada, and Australia. The Irish are united by a shared culture, history, and sense of identity that has been passed down through generations. Now let's discuss their physical characteristics. If you close your eyes and picture an Irish person, what comes to mind? Pale skin, freckles, and bright red hair, right? Well, while red hair is indeed most common in Ireland, they actually have the highest percentage of natural redheads in the world at around 10%. Most Irish people don't fit that stereotype. In reality, a majority of them have dark brown or even black hair. Their eyes, though, often have striking shades of blue or green, which are some of the most recognizable traits. And yes, the fair skin and freckles are evolutionary traits adapted to the cloudy climate of the island. There is a wide range of physical features among the Irish, shaped by centuries of migration and blending with other cultures. Irish culture is deeply rooted in storytelling, music, dance, and community. The Irish are known for their warmth, wit, and resilience, keeping traditions alive while embracing the future. Let's now dive into the history of the Irish people, which stretches back over 10,000 years, starting with the first Stone Age settlers. These early inhabitants were hunter-gatherers, later replaced by farming communities who built iconic ancient monuments like Newgrange. Around 2,500 years ago, the Celts arrived, bringing their language, traditions, and warrior culture, becoming the dominant force and shaping much of what we recognize today as Irish heritage. In ancient Ireland, burial practices often involved placing the dead in caves near rivers, which were regarded as sacred or spiritually significant. In Celtic beliefs, rivers symbolized gateways between the living world and the afterlife, making their proximity an important aspect of burial rites. Bodies buried in caves along riverbanks were sometimes accompanied by grave goods such as pottery, tools, or weapons, reflecting a belief in an afterlife. These secluded sites were considered places where the boundary between the physical and spiritual realms was thin, making them ideal for honoring the deceased. With the arrival of Christianity, burial customs shifted. Bodies were typically laid to rest near churches, with their heads placed towards the west, facing the rising sun. Churchyards became common burial grounds, and the tradition of placing crosses on graves emerged. During the early medieval period, prominent figures were often buried inside church buildings or crypts, while wealthier individuals were given elaborate stone tombs. In the penal era, Catholic burials were sometimes performed discreetly due to persecution. By the 19th century, overcrowded graveyards and mass graves, especially during the Great Famine, became widespread. The 20th century saw the rise of secular burial practices, with cremation becoming more widely accepted. Today, while churchyard burials remain common, cremation is also practiced. Ireland's history, however, is shaped by successive waves of invasion. The Vikings arrived in the 9th century, establishing cities like Dublin and integrating with the local population. The Normans followed in the 12th century, introducing new architectural styles and governance. But it was the English, who sought control over Ireland for centuries that left the most profound impact, one marked by cultural suppression, wars, and mass emigration. Despite these external pressures, the Irish people managed to preserve their unique identity, making them one of the world's most resilient cultures. With that said, what do recent DNA studies reveal about Irish ancestry? While the Celts played a significant role in shaping Irish identity, genetic studies suggest that Ireland's ancestry is much older and more diverse than once believed. Ancient DNA studies, including those from Trinity College Dublin, reveal that the first settlers of Ireland arrived around 10,000 years ago, long before the Celts. These early inhabitants were likely hunter-gatherers from the Iberian Peninsula, modern-day Spain and Portugal. A major genetic shift occurred around 4000 BC with the arrival of Neolithic farmers from the Middle East and Europe, influencing the island's population. The Celts, arriving between 500 to 1000 BC, introduced their language and culture, but didn't replace the existing population. Instead, they merged with the people already living there. The Celts left an undeniable mark on Irish identity, influencing myths, symbols, and even festivals like Samhain, now Halloween. Later, Viking, Norman, and English influences further shaped Ireland's genetic and cultural landscape. Recent DNA studies have further revolutionized our understanding of Irish ancestry, revealing that it is a blend of multiple ancient European populations, not just the Celts. The Vikings, arriving in the 9th century, left Scandinavian genetic markers, while the Normans, who arrived in the 12th century, contributed Anglo-Norman genes. This shows that Irish ancestry is far more complex than previously thought. In short, DNA studies have revealed a rich tapestry of genetic influences in Irish history, reshaping our understanding of Ireland's ancient origins and revealing that the Irish are descendants of many different peoples over thousands of years. Also, the occupation of the Irish people has evolved over time, shaped by geography, resources, and historical events. In ancient times, early Irish societies were primarily farmers and cattle herders. Crops like barley, wheat, and oats were cultivated, but cattle were especially important, serving as a measure of wealth and status. With the arrival of the Celts, metalworking, craftsmanship, and construction flourished. The Celts were skilled in making jewelry, weapons, and tools, while Druids served as priests, judges, and scholars. The Viking invasions, 8th to 11th centuries, brought seafaring, shipbuilding, and trade, turning cities like Dublin and Waterford into major commercial hubs. During the medieval period, many Irish people were tenant farmers under English rule, working the land, while others became blacksmiths, weavers, and carpenters. Monasteries played a key role in education, with monks preserving knowledge through manuscripts. By the 19th century, industrialization and the Great Famine forced many Irish people to emigrate, taking jobs in factories, construction, and domestic service abroad. Those who remained worked in farming, textile production, and fishing. People have asked whether there is any surprising genetic diversity in the Irish population. Well, the answer is yes. While Ireland was long seen as isolated, genetic studies show that different regions have distinct influences. Coastal areas, especially Dublin and Waterford, have more Viking ancestry due to Norse settlements. The West has stronger genetic ties to early Iberian settlers, while the North shows Scottish and Ulster Scots influences. Even within Ireland, DNA differences exist, proving that Irish ancestry is far from uniform. Strong genetic links also exist between the Irish, Scottish, and Welsh, but key differences set them apart. The Irish have more ancient Iberian ancestry, while the Scots have greater Viking influence. The Welsh are more closely connected to Britain's earliest inhabitants. Despite these variations, all three nations share a common Celtic heritage, reflected in their languages, traditions, and DNA. Certain genetic markers make the Irish unique. The R1b-Y DNA haplogroup is common in Irish men, and Ireland has the highest percentage of red hair in the world. Some genetic conditions, like hemochromatosis, are also more frequent, earning it the nickname the Celtic curse. DNA research has rewritten Irish history, revealing a far older and more diverse ancestry than once believed. So, what does this mean for everything we thought we knew about Irish history? It challenges the idea that the Irish identity is purely Celtic. Sure, Celtic culture left a massive mark on Ireland: language, traditions, folklore. But the DNA tells a more layered story. Rather than a single wave of people shaping the population, Ireland's past is a patchwork of migrations, making Irish ancestry far more diverse than anyone expected. For modern Irish communities, these studies spark curiosity and even pride. Irish identity has always been strong, but now there's an added layer, one that connects the Irish to a broader European past. Some see this as an opportunity to redefine what it truly means to be Irish, embracing a heritage that goes beyond just Celtic roots. And for those with Irish ancestry worldwide, this new knowledge might even change how they view their own lineage. There are even health implications. Certain genetic conditions like hemochromatosis, excess iron absorption, are more common in people of Irish descent. Understanding these genetic traits could improve health awareness and medical research for Irish communities worldwide. So, how did scientists uncover all this? It wasn't just a guess. In the past, research mostly relied on surnames and historical records. But today, scientists have taken it a step further with advanced DNA sequencing. By analyzing ancient remains discovered in Ireland and comparing them to the DNA of modern Irish people, they've been able to trace migration patterns that were previously unknown. It's pretty amazing. Now we can follow the journey of Ireland's ancestors through genetics, not just through written history. For those who thought their ancestry was purely Celtic, this research might reveal unexpected genetic influences, adding surprising new layers to their family history. Not everyone knows what to make of these findings. Some people are excited, seeing it as a deeper connection to Ireland's rich past. Others resist the idea, holding on to traditional narratives. But one thing is clear: being Irish isn't about a single origin. It's a story of movement, adaptation, and survival. And that makes Ireland's history even more incredible than we ever imagined. In conclusion, the shocking studies that have recently emerged have completely rewritten what we thought we knew about Irish history, ancestry, and identity. These groundbreaking findings challenge the long-held belief that the Irish people are primarily descendants of the Celts, revealing instead a rich and diverse genetic heritage shaped by ancient migrations from the Iberian Peninsula, Vikings, and Normans. This complex ancestry not only reshapes the traditional narrative of the Irish people, but also has profound implications for how Irish genealogy is traced and how modern Irish communities see themselves. The impact of these studies extends beyond history and culture. They also offer new insights into health conditions linked to Irish genetics. While these discoveries have sparked some debate, they ultimately deepen our understanding of the Irish story, showing that Ireland's past is far more intricate and globally connected than we ever imagined. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share it with your friends. I look forward to hearing your thoughts and questions in the comments below. May God bless you all, and I'll see you in the next video.